Hello, my name is Hersh,
And I'm Quilly.
and this is the HERShyt Show. A little bit about it, and you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's all right. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to this week's The HERShyt Show, where I have the honor and privilege of speaking with Mr. Cain and Miss Ophelia from the Reign of the Hated. I don't know why I keep wanting to throw a "the" in front of it, but it's not. It's Reign of the Hated. It is a band out of New Jersey, correct?
Yeah,
Yep. And go ahead and introduce yourself again. I apologize.
I'm Ophelia, and I'm the bass player from Reign of the Hated.
I'm Cain, and I do guitar and vocals from Reign of the Hated.
And from my research, what we was talking about a little bit beforehand was, Cain, you taught Ophelia how to do the bass guitar.
Yes.
And what made you want to do that, Ophelia?
I mean, at the time it was around in COVID, so I mean, I wasn't really doing much of anything else, so. And I have another reason too. It's in honor of my grandfather. He used to play in a band. He passed away over the COVID pandemic, so.
In April 2020, and Cain, your mother passed away in April 2020 as well, correct?
Yes.
Both in the same month they passed away.
Yep, I did research that. I do a lot of research before I jump online,
I like
as I
that.
told you before. So both was in April of 2020 during COVID. So your grandfather was in a band.
Yes, he played guitar, he did vocals, he did bass, he did accordion.
Accordion.
He did,
Accordion is not something
Yeah.
easy to play.
yeah.
No, it is not. So you're out of New Jersey. I did also check on, but I'm sorry, before I get started into that, what was the behind the scenes? How did you come up with the name Reign of the Hated?
So it's about people who were bullied or outcast coming together and uniting with each other and taking over.
And taking over?
Yeah, I could go with that. We're gonna take over the world one day.
I can see that. I can see that because bullying sucks. And I actually
Yep.
did a show on that before, as far as bullying sucks or fuck bullying. I've said that many of times. I don't like bullies. I don't like people getting bullied. So I did
Mhm.
also look into going for that. Y'all wrote a song "There for You" in 2020 as well, right? In
Yeah.
honor of your mom and your grandfather.
Yeah.
Did,
I mixed a bunch of different things together with that. Our neighbor at the time was telling us stories about her father who passed away, and
mm.
Ophelia's grandfather passed away, and my mom, and I just kind of combined all the stories together.
So you put in the emotions into it.
Yes.
Okay. And I also see that you do a lot of community involvement too when I Googled the name.
We try to. We do a lot of charity work. We've worked with multiple different Toys for Tots organizations. We've done a lot of mental health benefits. November 4th, we're going to be playing at the Strap, I think it's called, in Lakewood, and it's another mental health benefit show.
Okay. And that's where manic psychosis came from, right? Because somebody
Yes.
That manic psychosis came from someone who was bipolar having a mental breakdown. We could say a mental breakdown. And feeling like they were by themselves, and we're trying to tell them, look, you're not by yourself. There's always somebody there for you. But
Yeah,
I understand that when people go to that low point, they don't ever see that really.
that is true. Because people feel like they're alone. You can have 1,000 of people around you and still feel alone.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
absolutely true.
I can definitely understand that. So what, Cain, what inspired you to even start? Because there was you and another person, there was a drummer. I recall
Yeah.
something in the interview previously, but y'all started the band. But what inspired you to want to create and to give back through music for your community and for other people?
I originally wanted to learn how to play music from watching Children of Bodom. So it's a metal band from Finland.
Hmm.
Um, Back when I was younger, I seen their guitar player and I was obsessed with him for a while, so I wanted to become like him. And then vocals came later on. I had a lot of failed bands where the vocalists all ended up on drugs and I got tired of it breaking up. So I said, okay, I'm gonna learn how to do it. And it
Yeah.
was a lot of trial and error. Listened to a lot of Motionless in White from Pennsylvania, a lot of Aspen Alexandria, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to do this somehow.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna figure it out.
yeah, like it took a lot of trial and error, a lot of different screens to figure out what ones sound good. Um, it's still working there. Like I want to work more on clean vocals. It's just, we're always our worst critic with that. Like,
Yeah.
you always listen to yourself and it's like, okay, I don't really know if I like how I sound with clean vocals versus my screaming. Like everyone always puts themselves down more than other people.
Now, as far as now, I'm not really a grunge individual, right? But I do recall I'm old. I'm old. I'm 43. So
I wasn't even then.
I do recall Nirvana. I know that what Kurt Cobain was supposed to be the king of grunge.
Ah, yeah.
That's what they say. And I do recall, but when I listen to a few, like, y'all are magical when it comes down to the instruments. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I'm not too much into the screaming and stuff, but the way that you sound and the way that you play, you could tell that you are pouring your emotions into the way that you play. Y'all are
Yeah.
damn good when it comes down to them guitars. I will give you that hands down. But it put me in the mind of, especially when manic psychosis started off, it reminded me something of Guns N' Roses with the November Rain.
Ooh, I'm
Right?
gonna have to
I
check
love
that
the way
song
that
out.
I like hard rock. I haven't
Yeah.
really gotten into the grunge and the screaming portion of the I can't really say new era because it started what, earlier. When did it
90s.
start?
Grunge, I think, no, they say Neil Young also was like grunge music, so
Neil Young?
maybe, yeah, a lot of people say he was part of the grunge era, so maybe like 70s, 80s.
Okay.
But
Now I do
for me, it's like the 90s era. Like I love
That's yeah.
Nirvana. Like you could tell,
that
like my band's always like a three piece.
when I hear the opening up of either one of the songs that I opened up, the There For You, the Manic Psychosis, and there was another one that I listened to right before I logged on, and it was it puts me in the mind frame of the 90s hard rock.
Probably obsessive romantic.
Excessive romantic. Yeah, that was the one. No, is that the no, I don't think that did I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen to it because I was going through your entire trilogy,
Catalog.
everything that was on Spotify, because I know that you're on Reverb Nation.
Yes.
I know you're on Spotify. People
They
can
put together
actually
work.
reach out to you and book you through Bandcamp and Gig Heaven.
Um, I mainly use our email.
Okay.
That we do have Gig Heaven, Bandcamp I rarely check, but the main thing is usually either Facebook or email. A
Okay.
lot of the times it's always through Facebook though.
Now, how typically do you get gigged? Do you reach out to the events, or because I know y'all have done a lot. You've traveled quite often.
So for a very long time, it was me reaching out to other people, and just recently now, I've had people coming up to me and being like, "Hey, do you want to come out to Pennsylvania? Do you want to do a theater show in November?" That's just coming recently. Like this year has been a lot different for us. I haven't had to beg as much as, previous years. But it's just recently people are coming up to us, "Hey, do you want to jump on a show?" It
That's
feels
pretty
good
cool.
though, so you don't have to like, break your back as much booking. A lot of
But
people don't know it takes a lot of work to book shows.
that's exactly what I was about to say. A lot of people don't understand that even though you're amazing at your talent, it takes
Yeah.
to, a lot of practice, a lot of no's, a lot of turn downs, a lot of turnaways, a lot of,
A lot of
well,
people
maybe
ignoring you.
do what?
a lot of people ignoring you. There's
Yeah.
you could send 1,000 emails out, and maybe like 20 of them will be like, "Oh yeah, I opened up your email,"
Yeah.
and then you get.
Have you also, because of the new digital era, have y'all found it easier to be able to get people to listen to your music?
I feel it's easier because of the digital era because stuff like TikTok. People are always on TikTok. You could always put like clips of your song on it. Even Facebook stories and even Instagram, you have the reels now. I think it's a lot easier to get people to listen to it because
Hmm.
back then you couldn't, you'd have to actually travel state to state and be like, "Hey, check my band out, check my band out." Now it's just like I checked my Spotify thing yesterday and I got people from Iraq, Israel, Finland, Sweden, even people from China listening to our music now.
That is awesome. That
Now,
you literally went worldwide at this point.
in the early days, you'd have to actually go there and be like, "Okay, check us out." With the
Yeah,
digital
or
age, it is a lot easier.
send your cassette into a radio station. Or now,
And say they play it.
do you think that your music would be platformed for radio?
Yes. I know there's some underground stations, but like I know there's a couple stations in New Jersey and New York, that would play our music. I'm not saying the names right now just because, what I'm about to
Yeah,
say
you
is
don't have to say
some
any names. Trust me, that's fine. We
some
don't have to
companies
say
you have to, grease their palms a little bit to play your music.
names. Yeah, just a
Especially
little.
when you're unsigned, it's like, okay, so give me like, $100 and I'll play your song for like a month.
Or find a club or a rave or something that you might
See,
be able to slide it to the DJ. That's what we used to do
we
back when. I told you I'm old.
we have a new song coming out next week that's kind of like a party punk song, like Ramones mixed with Blink-182. That's
Okay.
stuff. I'm laughing because when you said rave, I was like, oh yeah, that'll fit in.
There you go. As long as you get it to a rave, especially in the European sector, if you
Oh
can get
yeah.
it into the European sector.
That's one thing I love about over there versus here. Over if you ever watch like a lot of people over in Europe, they'll just go to a show even if they don't know the person. They'll be like, "Oh, we'll just go there and party." Over
Yeah.
here, it's like, okay, my friends listening to you guys.
Yeah, like wait, what? Yeah, who, what? Yeah. But a lot of people over here tend to, if you're not already known, like you'll have that handful. But like you said, on Spotify and the new technology that we have nowadays, you're able to spread the word,
Yeah,
and spread your music. And again, instrumentally, y'all are amazing.
thank you.
You and Ophelia. And I
Thank
did see
you.
one of the live ones as well. Y'all did something live last year, or a few things live.
Was
What was
it
that
Queen's
about?
Rock Festival?
Yes. What was that
Yeah,
about?
that was a big festival out in New York City. It's actually funny because when I seen Queen Rock Festival, I thought it had to be a female fronted band. And I hit the promoter up and I was like, "Hey, we don't have a female doing main vocals. Is it still okay?" He laughed at me and he didn't get why, I made the comment at first. But it was a pretty cool festival. I mean, it started early in the morning and we were supposed to open it, which was the funny part. And a lot of the bands that were sort of more known dropped off at the last minute. They said they had COVID or something, and
Oh
you know,
man.
so they dropped off at the last minute. And we ended up going on like around 5:30 when we were supposed to open it at 10. So I mean, it sucked that they got sick, but we ended up with a lot better slot from that.
I was
We ended
about to
up,
say that's typically the main event slot, like around in that
yep,
time frame.
we ended up selling out our merchandise that day, which was a fun day.
Now, do
The
you have
weird
a
part was I was sick as a dog during that show.
was
I
you couldn't tell?
I was throwing up like I don't want to gross you out, but I was throwing up like white fluid on the side of the stage and no one even noticed.
Are you sure it wasn't nerves?
No, I was sick all from last June all the way till September.
Mm.
I started with bronchitis, then pneumonia, and then bronchitis again. and then metanumerovirus, which I didn't even know existed.
I have no idea what that is.
All I
I thought
know is my lungs kept getting fluid filling up with it for the entire summer last year.
that's a lot. Now,
And it didn't hit me until like August. Like August is when I lost my screaming ability and everything.
that's a lot. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're feeling better.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Now, Ophelia, I got a question for you.
Hmm.
Do you get nervous when you get on stage, or what would be your hype thing to get you motivated before you go on stage?
I'm nervous on stage. I've been that way since I first started. I have a lot of anxiety.
Mm.
Just bad
But you're
stupid.
really good at what you do. You haven't found that comfort zone yet?
No, I always feel like I'm on edge on stage because I aim for perfection and I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up if I go jumping around like a maniac.
Mm.
So I tend to keep my eyes on the neck of the guitar to make sure I play everything right. I don't want to mess up.
So how do you hype yourself up before you get on stage?
I don't.
I was gonna say
I don't.
You just walk on and make it do what it do.
Yes.
I
she
mean,
gets
hey,
like really, really nervous all the time.
what about you, Cain? What do you do to hype yourself up?
Um, most of the time I listen to music on the car ride up there. Like it's gonna sound weird, but I'll listen to rap music.
What? That don't sound weird at all.
Because when you're on, especially when you're doing vocals with screaming, it's like, okay, you're angry 90% of the time on stage to get to scream. You have to have that angry, like, emotion behind you. So I like to relax before it. Like, I like to stay calm and, just not angry all the time.
So
Honestly, I used to go and, like, I used to be nervous like Ophelia. Like, I'd be scared all the time. Now I get to the point where I'm like, are we allowed to curse on here?
yeah, you're allowed to cuss.
Oh,
It's the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
HERShyt Show.
I'm like, fuck it. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. If I make a mistake, fuck it. No one's gonna care anyway.
I've
I
only
mean,
been playing for like 2 years, so there's that too.
I get up
yeah.
there, I run around the stage now, I dance around. Shit. I'm a little bit chubby, but you know what? People still watching me damn dance.
Listen, you got you're living your dream. So why
Trying
not?
to.
Why not?
Trying
I mean,
to.
if you're motivating other people to get out of their funk, and the reign of the hated, as far as the bullies take and the ones that were bullied taking over the world, then you have to show them by dancing and getting out of your own funk. So that to me would be, hey, why not? Fuck it, like you said. You gotta, what's the saying? You gotta learn how to dance in the rain.
Yep. Even
That
if
would
you're the
that
only one
that would
doing it.
that would definitely be the one. So what would be, Ophelia, what would be one of the funniest moments for you, either before or after or during a show?
I haven't had any funny moments, but I've had moments where I almost had heat stroke.
That
What?
Yes.
When was that?
Remember the hated first started, he used to play at the pizza place.
It
It
sounds like
was,
you got something in your mouth. What happened?
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So when Reign of the Hated first started, we used to play at this pizza place and it was really, really hot in there. And I have a habit of not drinking water before I go on stage. And I got up there, it came time for the fourth song, and I ended up going outside. I left the stage, took my bass with me, and ended up throwing up outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and our drummer at the time, there was only one fan, and he unhooked it to put a video camera up there.
Yeah.
So there was no fans, no nothing in the pizzeria.
It was really
Oh,
bad. I had to drink like 7 bottles of water after that.
We got lucky because the pizzeria owner's daughter had bad asthma, so she gave her inhaler, gave her ice packs, gave her everything from the fridge.
oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah, that's in up north. It doesn't really, well, I don't, well, yeah, it's a pizzeria. So hell yeah, it
Yeah.
was hot in there.
It was like the middle of summer during a heat wave, and
Hmm.
the pizzerias are always hot in general,
Yeah.
and fans off, the air conditioning off. They're like, look, we can't put air conditioning on. It'll mess the dough up. And I looked at them and I'm like, okay. I'm like, so we're gonna die tonight.
No, I'm not supposed to be laughing, but that's horrible. This.
It is funny though.
Do you drink water now before you go on the stage, Ophelia?
No,
Somewhat. Not really.
she hasn't learned.
What is one of the first memories that come to your mind, Cain?
I haven't had like really many funny. Oh yeah, the last show we did. We did a show in Pennsylvania about a week ago, and one of our songs, "A Liar's Tale," has to do with strippers. And I started talking about strippers on the stage, and everyone started talking about OnlyFans, and they were dating other band members. It was funny.
I mean, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, they kind of go hand in hand. So,
It's but one of the other ones, I looked at one of the videos from a couple months ago, and I thought my pants were over me, and I looked at the video, and my ass was hanging out my pants during the whole show. I think the video clips are still on TikTok.
oh my God. So that was definitely a blooper. You could use that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was supposed to. I didn't know my pants were down like that until after I looked at the video.
So, what do you desire, or where do you see yourself within the next year? Because I do see that y'all started going to a studio recently as well, correct?
We've been going to the studio. It's just we don't release everything as a CD. We release it as singles, but we do
Okay.
sell them in like a CD form at the concerts. We
Okay.
we hit one studio last week, and we're gonna be going to. We hit Work in Progress Studios last week, and then next week we're gonna be going into Mercury Studios to do a cover of
Pet Cemetery by the Ramones.
Ophelia is a big Ramones fan.
So, okay, with that being said, goes into the next question. If you can meet any band, I don't know if the HERShyt Show is that broad for y'all for them to hear this, but we might be able to take a snippet out and put it as
You
a
never
reel or
know.
something. But who would you want to meet if you can meet anybody?
Motionless in White.
Wow, that surprised me.
Blink 182.
That's who I thought.
And the Amity Affliction.
Amity Affliction?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to find those three and try to reach out to them to see what can't happen. I don't know them.
I recently got a signature series of Mark Hoppus, the bass player from Blink 182.
Okay.
It's vintage. It's like over 20 years old.
Yeah, that's a little old. Over 20. I'm still old. So that's within my
20s.
age group. Matter of fact, what inspired you to stick with the 90s hard rock? I know you want to go into the more heavy metal and the grunge aspect of it, but the way that you play is more 90s style. Do you plan on staying within that aspect, that realm of how you play, or are you trying to change it up? Because I like it the way it is, but I'm old.
Hard question. So in today's world, if you go heavier, you don't get as many people coming to your shows as you do if you stay like the grungy area or like a little bit more lighter rock. It's very hard because we do have heavier songs, but also Ophelia likes like the more rockish area. So like right now, if we keep it where we're at, we could fit in with Breaking Benjamin, and, Seether, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know because I wanted to get heavier, but I also know if we get heavier, like a lot of less people will be coming to our shows.
Yeah, I think
A
the
lot of people
more.
don't like the emo stuff.
Do you think that you would try to do like I can't really say a collabo, but more of like a remake or a snippet from like any of the 90s. So let's go to the 90s style. Who would more motivate you out of the 90s era?
Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
Nirvana, definitely. Even in my old band, it was a cover band, and whenever I had to do guitar solos, it always ended up sounding like Nirvana.
Well, I definitely can't get you to meet Kurt Cobain. So
He's no longer here.
Hey, I
yeah,
believe he. Hey, I believe he faked his death. Still, I will go down still believing that.
really, are we going to go with the Elvis Presley realm? We're going to go
Mhm.
that way. You think you really think he faked his death?
I mean, I don't know. I'm one of them conspiracy theorist people, so I would believe it. Like I've seen a lot weirder stuff. I don't know if you've seen recently. They're saying Michael Jackson's still alive now. Supposedly,
Listen, they've
they're
been
supposed.
saying that about Elvis Presley since way back when, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
So
surprise me. They say Tupac is still alive too. So
now, I mean, I don't know. I could believe some of that. Because some people get famous, like they don't know what it's gonna be like to go and get all this money, all this fame, and then once they get it, it's like okay, some people get overwhelmed by it.
yeah,
Um, like especially once they start getting money, because once you're famous, you have to think about this. People watch what you spend your money on. So like
yeah,
if they have a drug problem or something like that, their fans are gonna be seeing it, and it's gonna start putting a bad image on them. So a lot of people they can't handle it and they look for
yeah.
ways out. It could be fake, going living underground in one of the islands where no one could ever find them. I mean, for me
It's possible.
personally, like growing up and seeing my family struggle with money, I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't be touching drugs and I'd be doing everything I could to make that money.
Well, I'd be doing something different with it too.
And that's another
So
thing. A lot of people outside of grunge or outside of hard rock, and you remember I said sex, drugs, and
yeah,
alcohol, that all tends to go in line. So so you're pretty much going to break the stigma of that
yeah.
with what y'all are doing.
We had to change our theme of music for a while
Yeah.
because I don't know if you heard all the like first CD. We had some pretty out there themes of our music. Like the letters about, depression,
Suicide letter.
suicidal letter, yes, and it links into manic psychosis, which goes into the depression, bipolar. Obsessive romantic talks about, being obsessed with someone in love. It could be OCD, it could be, actual possession if you're into witchcraft. It could be a lot of different themes. And the martyr talks about people going and judging people and throwing stones when they're doing the exact same thing and claiming the victim part. We
Which is
have
a biblical standpoint, but I can see how people can
we
twist that.
yeah, we started changing from it because I had a personal friend, he's a comedian, Glenn Raymond. He talked to me about it. He's like, look, you don't want to be labeled as one topic. He said, because then what happens is in the future, if you decide to change it, people aren't going to want to listen to it no more. And I have seen it with bands happen. So I did understand it. So we started changing because we were doing a lot of songs about mental health. And some of the recent interviews, like a lot of people's favorite song is Remnants because it's happy.
Mm,
One interview person was like, "Oh, it makes you feel like you're listening to something from Twilight where vampires are running through the woods." And they're like, "It's happy sounding." So I was like, "Okay,
okay.
we still managed to keep the grungy sound with happy. It's just it's different for us. It's like whole different ballpark."
Yeah. But
Because
I
you
can
think grunge, you don't see happy, and it's like Ramon sounding there.
I can really see, especially the ones that I have heard. I can see it being a part of some kind of vampire, or not even, but it would be like not more of a tragedy. I don't see
That's
the
true.
tragedy part, except for in the manic psychosis. I could definitely see the tragedy part in that one. It was definitely a little out there for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I would love to have just the instrumentals for y'all. I
I
would.
mean,
Have you ever thought about doing something with instrumentals and just selling it? Or,
I've thought about doing that. One of the bands I follow, like Moss the Flames, they released their old previous stuff as instrumentals on Spotify in case people wanted to do covers of it, or in case people just wanted the instrumental stuff. It is an idea. I actually have our next two CDs planned out already. So we already
okay.
released Unstable. The next one is a little bit happier. It's gonna be called, what was it? Other World or something like that.
Mm,
Enchantment or something. Enchanted World.
it's called Enchantment.
Yeah, we were thinking about that for the second CD. And then the third CD, we're gonna make a Nightcore CD. That's like that really happy, sped up sounding music.
Okay.
While that's being released, we're gonna go and work on our fourth CD.
Well, y'all got a lot
Um,
planned.
Trying to you got to always keep pushing, keep moving, keep trying to promote. Because if you don't, someone else is getting your spot.
Well, and you also don't know what song is going to be that song
Yeah,
that catches the right person's ear.
that's very true.
And I wouldn't say trying to, I say you're doing it. You are doing it. Ain't no trying about it because you're actually, both of y'all are putting in the work.
It takes a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when I'm at work all the time, I'm on Facebook on the band page, commenting on people's stuff, posting the Spotify links on Twitter, and it's just like constantly sending it out to people. I mean,
Definitely.
when people start bands, they don't see how much work you have to actually put in to get your name out there.
No. And that doesn't matter which genre you're in.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it doesn't come over. I'm from Atlanta, and
Nice.
it's like, the Southern Motown down here. Everybody and their mama's got some kind of track out, some kind of something making the studio from a closet in their house, like,
I
and
tried that. It didn't go well for me.
it didn't go well.
Yeah, I
I've
found out
seen
like
it.
I tried using a USB cable for the laptop and everyone like is like, "Oh, you need interfaces." And I'm like, "Okay, so that's like a $300-400 item." I'm like, "Who has that kind of money just sitting around right now?"
Yeah, no. And people think that it's you just buy a guitar or buy a set of drums and you can just make it do what it do. And that's literally not how it works.
No,
So I love your honesty. You know what I mean? So when you don't forget the little people like me when y'all make
I
it big,
won't.
because I'm claiming it, you are gonna make it big. You're gonna get that
Thank you.
spotlight somewhere, you
It's
know.
another part that a lot of people don't get either is you have to be nice to people. Like I've been playing between my mom's band, my friends' bands, past bands for years, and a lot of the band people are just like, "Oh, we don't have to support each other, we don't have to talk," and they'll talk bad about people, and I'm like, "Watch what happens," because I'll sit there and I'll talk nicely to people, and
Yeah.
you get a lot further being nice to people.
It's called networking. You don't have
Yes,
to, and this is what I told my son, and I'm gonna tell y'all because y'all are probably young enough to be my kids. So I will say it, you can speak to everybody. You don't have to do what everybody else does.
yes,
You speak to when you walk into a room, and I know I'm a Southern woman, but when you walk into a room, you speak to everybody. But that don't mean that you're kissing anybody's ass. That just means that you have enough respect and confidence within yourself when you walk into that
yes.
room. And you
It's
never know who's
who's gonna be
watching.
there. When I was younger, I used to work at a Parkway job, and this is before Reign of the Hated came around. I met a bunch of famous people. They had Warped Tour. This is going years back. They had Warped Tour, and a record label came in. One of the headlining bands came in, and everything. I grabbed pictures with them right away. I jumped around the counter, and I was grabbing photos with them.
Exactly.
Like in
Now,
this world, you don't know. Like you can be at a gas station and meet people now.
that is very true. You can be anywhere. You can be well, y'all don't have Waffle House like we do down here, but
I mean,
where you could be at one of the 24-hour diners kind of deal. You
yep.
never know who you're going to meet or where you're going to meet them at. You are very true about that. You could be walking through Walmart and they come in,
That's
So, Miss Ophelia,
Hmm?
since you like being quiet, I'm going to ask you another question.
Yes, I'm a quiet type.
I see you are very reserved, my dear, and that is amazing. I wish I could be, but I can't. I have to talk to everybody. So, if tomorrow y'all get this magical contract and they tell you this is how much we're going to give you, down, because I know there's many different types of contracts or whatever, but say it's enough to literally set you up for at least 5 years living comfortably, what would be the first thing that you do?
oh God, I already know.
I'd probably move to Australia and get my dog sanctuary for pit bulls.
I love that idea. I am a pit bull fan, especially bully pits, pocket pits.
Oh God, I gotta send you the picture of our new puppy.
I got 3 of them, and
She just picked up an American Pit Bull Bully XL.
XL American Bully.
Oh yeah, that's
one of them muscle ones. She just picked it up last week.
There's too much out there. There's too much abuse going on, and I want to have a sanctuary where the dogs can just
because of people.
I just want them to run and be free and just never have to worry about going hungry or, you know.
You and my sister would be besties because she wants to do the same thing. She wants to have enough land to just open up a kennel and just have them run.
Yes.
That is amazing.
I would have them spayed and neutered. That way, you know, it just doesn't keep repopulating the world with unwanted puppies, and you know.
It sounds like you're mumbling again, dear.
Where'd it go? Can you hear me?
There it goes. Yep, there you go. I heard the spayed and neutered part.
Yes, to prevent more unwanted puppies. There's so much of that in the world right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, because people are cruel.
Yes.
People are very cruel. Now, have y'all thought about making something for saving the animals, per se?
Didn't we play one of those benefit shows?
I know we were supposed to play Pet Stock last year, but no, we haven't played one as far as I can remember. We've done so much charity work, I don't honestly remember.
That is amazing, though, that you're doing so much charity work, even while you are, what do they call it, a struggling artist. But I'm not going to say you're a struggling at all because y'all are out there doing it. You're putting in the work. You're getting your name out there.
That's one sentence I hate. Putting in the work.
What?
Because putting in the work, because I've been doing that so much shit, especially recently. Like I want the numbers on the Facebook page up there, so I've been on there, like, you know, kind of harassing, you know, bigger name people, like, hey, check us out, check us out, check us out. Go into their
That's how you get your name out there, though.
It's I've been doing it a lot, and it's just you go crazy. Like you start to hate going on social media. Because it's like I don't really check my personal account. Like I messaged you the other day on the Cain account from Cain Salerno, and I rarely use it anymore. It's always the band page now. Like I go on there and it's like business, 24/7 business.
I do that with the HERShyt Show, and what we have found as we call it, small business owners. It's the networking aspect, and I don't really pay attention to the numbers. I swear for the first 3 years, we probably had 200 people, and my producer used to fuss at me all the time because I didn't give a shit if people were watching it or not.
I used to try cutting a deal with people, like the local businesses. If they gave me a bunch of cards, I would put them up on the merchandise table. People can come in, take them. But all I asked was either for them to come out to a couple shows or at least like some of the posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And if they couldn't do it, I would just take the cards off the table.
But that was also the purpose of the HERShyt Show, was to get people out there for free.
Yeah.
Because people don't have money to pay for advertisement like people think they do.
No one, like, especially on Facebook now, they have that algorithm thing.
And
if, let's say, Facebook doesn't want people to see your page, they'll show someone more popular. And nobody really has money to keep, spending $20, $30 for one post. And especially if you got your name out there, you got to keep posting every 2 days. I found every 2 days works. But
every 2 days, and you have to actually talk to people.
Yes.
I've noticed that. You have to actually comment back, or, do not just a little emoji kind of thing or whatever. Just, you have to actually go in and speak to other people and collaborate. And,
nobody has that kind of money, though, to promote their stuff like that. Oh, hey, here's $30. Go and promote my ad for 2 days. Promote my post. If
I'm not doing
a week, that's $90 a week. That's 90 times 4. $360.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
Nobody has that.
Stuff is food
money.
Food money nowadays.
Gas money, food money, sock money, draws money. Like,
right?
We need that shit. We're budgeting over here, my guy.
That's like, if you can get people to share your posts, like I've
Yeah.
found back roads into doing that. Like Ophelia has a Pokemon group, and I'll be like, okay, I'll give you guys some Pokemon, just like some posts on this page. And it works, some people check out your YouTube videos. That's how when we first started, that's how I got manic psychosis so high on YouTube. I was like, hey, check it out and I'll give you guys some free stuff.
Now I'm
Share
kind
the
of curious
post.
how in the hell did you find the HERShyt Show? I was honored
Um
when I got the email, but I was like, this is out the
so
blue.
I'm hoping I don't get blocked from a bunch of people's pages. When I'm going through Facebook and I see like, suggested content and I see people posting and I'm like, oh, this one's on this podcast, this one's on this show. Let's go to their page, screenshot the email. And then when I get home, I just send the emails out and like, hey, can we jump on your show for a podcast or your radio station?
Well,
Um,
it was definitely
it's
an honor to get your
literally like
email.
a word of mouth type thing. Because
Yes.
then, even though they're not really saying it, I'm seeing it on Facebook. Oh, hey, they posted from this person. Let's go check them out.
Now, have you heard of the Cake Lady? I believe is her
I've
name.
heard of her.
She
I
does musicians
think
and bands all the time.
I'm checking right now because I got a mini schedule from now to October.
Yeah. And y'all
Uh,
caught me, like, we were able to do this very quickly because I literally have been gone for the last 50, almost 60 days. And
vacation?
the day I got your email was the day that I was packing, traveling back home from Vermont.
Wow, that's a trip.
Yeah. Because
Don't get me started on trips.
it was my job.
Okay.
My
Um,
full-time job. Well, not really full-time, but part-time. I'm actually retired military, but I work in
thank you for
emergency
serving.
management.
Thank you for serving.
Oh no, thank y'all for everything. Like the support, the reaching out to the HERShyt Show. Like this is
I Maybe you would be the one to ask about this. I've been reaching out to the OSU. I want to do some shows like go around New Jersey, New York, um, Connecticut, and just do a couple shows for the troops and stuff like that. But they never email me back.
it's for the USO. You want to do it for the USO.
Like I reach out, but they never
Uh-oh, it
email.
kind of went away.
I think it's the OSU or USO. I
Yeah,
got
it's
the
the
idea from
USO.
a wrestling interview we did, but they
Yeah, it's the
never
USO.
contact me back.
So we could talk about that offline on how
Gotcha.
to get into that. I can do a little research for you because yeah, there was always USO tours overseas
I
coming
would
and stuff like that.
I would love to do that, especially recently. I seen one of my favorite comedians, Christopher Titus. He went overseas. He brought a band with him. He said, "I'm picking this band up. We're going over when the Iraq War was going on, and he would go from base to base and do a comedy show with them. He'd have the
Yeah.
band open, and then he would do a show.
Yeah, Robin
And
Williams came over there to Afghanistan when I was there. They had brought some bands with them. We've had Gary, Lieutenant Dan, the
okay,
Gary's site. He actually does that a lot. So if you can get in contact with his organization, obviously is real big into the troops and USO tours and stuff like that. And he's still continuously doing things. So I will look into a couple of things and email them to you.
I
That's what the
know.
HERShyt Show is about. I want to research. Tell me what the research, and I got you.
We did a couple charity things with the Wounded Veterans Society. I just remembered that.
Wounded Warrior.
I think that's what it's called. It was the Queen's Rock Festival. They were one of the sponsors. And
Okay.
when we were doing house shows during COVID, we used to do front lawn shows. Not proud of that.
Okay.
Because the bars were shut down.
Yeah.
We did a show and we partnered with Animal House Radio, which is also part of the Veterans Alliance. It was a sponsored. Any money made, we donated to them.
I'm gonna reach out to another show as well. It's Veteran Trash Talk. They're all about the veterans, of course, and they are owned and operated by veterans as well. So I will reach out to them as well to see if there's any point of contact that they may have for y'all too.
Thank you.
Oh, it's too easy. You know, there's somebody for everybody out there. You know what I
It's
mean?
just
I would
finding.
love to just have a CD with, let's listen to my old ass. I would just love to have something where it's just musical so I could just turn on the musical aspect. I'm not really into the screaming part.
We our newer songs don't have much screaming in it as of right now.
Okay.
Like we have
Yeah.
Remnants, which has no screaming at all in it.
I will go back and listen to the entire latest that you have put out and
Um,
listen to it. And I'm definitely going to share your stuff. That's not a problem at all.
if you're a fan of the Ramones, we got one coming out next Saturday.
You said
Uh,
Ramones?
yeah, we have like a old 80s punk original coming out.
Oh, that's awesome. I just like your music, the instrumentals for me, because I have
Thank
one
you.
good ear. So if this ear is trying to pick up everything and it's muffled, this it comes all on this side, and if it's too much going on, then
It's hard to hear it.
I get a little shaky. But
Gotcha.
the instrumentals itself, I'm telling you, y'all put me in the mind of I could hear the Pearl Jam, I can hear the Nirvana, but I could also hear the Guns N' Roses side.
The guitar
And that
sounds
might be
nice.
because of the bass guitar. I don't know. But when I was younger, I was really big into the White Snake and the Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. Even a little Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne.
Metallica's pretty good. Ozzy Osbourne's alright. I like his guitar players.
I think
Um,
mine was more the Crazy Train. That's
nice. That was the Randy Rhoads era.
I like Crazy Train. Anything Guns N' Roses, White Snake, yeah, that was more of the soft rock.
Eh, Guns N' Roses is
Metallica I could get into until they started screaming and then I couldn't do it no more. I don't
Metallica's
know.
good. I give them their credit. Like they're amazing live. Like over here they have the Old Bridge Metal Militia, and they show me pictures. They recorded the Black album in their basement. I think it was
In
the
their
Black
basement.
album.
It's
Yeah.
possible.
It's actually on the website. Like they have pictures and everything of Metallica recording the CD in the basement. It was the
Now,
one that they made it famous off of.
you can go on Amazon. I did this for a couple of people. You can either do the eggshells on the walls that actually works. Or there's some foam and you can buy them like 4 blocks at a time and just put them
Yeah,
up. You
we have a
know,
couple in our basement. But it's hard. It takes money.
it does take money. It does. So it's going to be a lot of budgeting. It's going to be some
Yeah.
very frugal budgeting.
Like
I
we've been
wonder.
blessed this summer. This summer most of the shows we have made money off of, but once you get done paying for traveling and stuff like that, it kind of goes to traveling and food.
So the saying goes, when you stop having fun, it's time to hang it up, right?
Yeah.
I don't see y'all stop having fun for a very long time.
I plan on going as far as possible. If they want us to make a video game, shit, let's do it. They want us to go into acting, shit, let's do it. They want a book, we'll make it. Whatever they want, it always keeps life interesting.
I have
That,
seen that y'all took some classes too.
um, you mean like lessons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to take guitar lessons and vocal lessons a lot when I was younger.
Do you think that's something that you might start as a business to be able to give
Um,
lessons?
Guitar playing, yes, because I have done it in the past. I've taught people, but for me, it's like I even have a TikTok channel. It's called Guitar Lessons with Cain, and I post a couple lessons up here and there. Can I see myself doing it for the rest of my life? No,
Yeah.
because I like to travel. Like my whole thing is I want to go traveling. I want
Yeah.
to tour. I want to see the world. Like I'll put like if it's virtual, yeah, I could teach virtually because I could still travel. But if it's in person, it would be really hard.
Now, with Australia, Ophelia, I'm pulling you back in.
Hmm.
Why Australia?
I don't know. Australia is really nice. It seems like really calm down there.
With a lot of shit that can kill you?
Yeah. But then again, I was thinking, I think pit bulls are banned over there, so I don't know. I'd probably have to move somewhere else.
You want to go to Italy?
Did you say Italy?
You want to go to Italy? You
No.
get food, you get diabetes with it.
No. So I don't know. But I definitely want to visit Australia.
Yeah. Just make sure you keep long pants on with your socks rolled over the
Jump on
bottom.
the beaches.
Their beaches are nice too. I
Yeah.
have a few friends that live down there too, so.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Mhm.
definitely awesome. Looking to getting your passport and plan you a trip one day.
Yes, definitely.
I'd love to go do the festivals overseas, especially
There
waking up
are
and
a lot of music festivals overseas. I would definitely look into that and see about how you may be able to slide in. Never know.
I don't know how to go about none of that stuff. And I can't even do word of mouth with that because a lot of the people I know around my area, none of them are really doing anything overseas. So that's a little bit harder for me to figure out how to do it.
Well, you're giving me research homework. That's what you're doing. You're giving me research homework, and I'm going to send you as many links as I
Thank
possibly can
you.
by tomorrow.
I appreciate you.
That's what I love to do. If there's anything that the HERShyt Show can do for you, I'm Hersh, by the way, if I
Nice
didn't
to
say
meet
that
you.
in the beginning. But if there's anything that I can research, just reach out and ask, man. We love for people to thrive and succeed, strangers or not. And
Well, I
I
appreciate that.
honestly believe in your craft, just without the screaming.
We
I can't do the screaming, but that
fine.
doesn't mean there's not a whole demographic that loves it, right? I don't deal with mumble rap neither because I can't understand.
I can't.
I
Speaking
can't.
of
I
rap,
can't. I
I
can't.
I left the song Remnants with the chorus open. I've been trying to network with people, even if they're like rap or country or any other artist, and just have them do a remix with just their own vocals over the chorus.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
left it open so other people could work with it. Like as long as they still give us credit that we wrote it. I mean, if they want to cover and put their vocals over the chorus, it's fine. Like I
Now,
left the whole chorus open.
have you been copywriting your stuff?
Yes.
Okay, definitely. Hell yeah. Make sure that happens. And anything that you do, if you're not already doing it, get that shit in writing, man.
What do you mean?
Anything that you're doing, any shows or anything that you have going on. Yes, it's word of mouth. Yes, it's an old school handshake, but get
Oh,
shit in
contracts.
writing.
Yeah. That that's very important because sometimes festivals fall through and they promise you X amount of money. And you could be like halfway to the festival already and then it fell through and it's like shit, now I'm out of money.
Yes.
Um,
As you know, the industry is fucking cutthroat,
yes.
no
I've seen
matter
a
what
lot of that.
genre you're in.
I know there's
So,
certain people that control the industry and it's also very cutthroat. For any
yeah.
people that are watching that control the industry, I will wear a pink dress on that stage. You just give me a check. You want
So
me to
y'all
make
heard
out with
it.
a dude
Cain
on
said he'll
stage?
wear a
Just give me
pink
a check.
dress as long as you're cutting a check.
Yes, I'm very viable.
What you said, you're
Not proud
flexible,
of it.
huh?
Oh, I'm viable. I'm not proud of it, but I am viable. They want to give
Listen,
me a check, I'll do just about anything.
listen, make it
Boy,
do what it
country,
do.
anything.
I am honored to have met y'all. Even though I'm not seeing you right now, I do get to. Oh, matter of fact, what is with the teddy bear with the heart?
That's a voodoo doll.
It's a
How
voodoo
do you
doll.
kill that happy
Yeah, I
moment?
know it looks like a teddy bear, but it's actually a voodoo bear.
Huh. Where did that come from?
My screwed up
Okay.
It's
All right.
she designed it when Obsessive Romantic came out, so I want to say it has to do with that song.
So,
But
A
have you
voodoo
ever
doll
seen
to do?
have you
Yeah.
ever seen the image for the letter? We released a T-shirt that was a limited run. It has stuffing popped out of it, and it has a knife and a letter in its hand. So the bear doesn't actually feel pain no matter what you do to it.
And
Oh,
the other artwork for the next song next week, it's called Party for Life. She has it with a birthday cake and a party hat on.
oh, okay. Well, I think it's adorable, even though it's looking a little evil now that you've said it. It still is adorable to me. I would wear it. I would
Thank
wear
you.
that. I would definitely wear it. Matter of fact, do you have a website?
We have a website, it's called My Merkin Music. They have t-shirts, they have hoodies on there, they have dog bandanas, they have dog collars, hats.
You said
We have
my merc
and music.
and music
Yeah,
spelled all the way out. My
yeah,
merc, and it's
and music.
MERCH.
Yeah,
Okay, so MYMERCHANDMUSIC.com.
yeah. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that .com part.
Okay, because I want to make sure that we get your
Yes,
information
it's
out there.
mymerkinmusic.com/Reign of the Hated.
Okay,
We got
Reign of the
memes
Hated.
on
I'm going to
there.
make sure that the producer has that as well, so we can put it on as the link.
We got hoodies, we got beanies, we got t-shirts on there, we got dog merchandise. That was my idea because I like dogs, so that was my idea.
Well,
And
obviously, Ophelia likes dogs too.
my dogs are her dogs. Well, technically they're her dogs that I play with, but still.
You done claimed the dogs. That's what that is.
Yes, sort of. I got the male one. The male one likes to lay on me all the time.
Yeah,
I wanted
Kobe.
the female, but no one wanted the male one, so he kind of bonded with me.
So, what is the next gig that you have that you want people to know about?
Our next show is going to be at Oddity Bar, September 23rd in Wilmington, Delaware. We're
Okay.
playing with Floodgates, Loud Love, and Burned in Effigy. And then we have another show in October, which I'm actually in love with. It's at the Kearney Cottage Museum. It's an old haunted ass museum from like the early 1800s with all kinds of like
I gotta go.
objects and stuff in there, like paranormal type stuff. It's literally a haunted museum.
And it's in October.
Yes, October 22nd.
I can see your music going with it very well. I can see that. It blends very well. I wouldn't go to that museum.
I've been
I don't
trying.
deal with this shit. I can't. I can't. Well, I can, but then I would have to be blessed before I come back home.
Yeah, I got an interesting story about that. My mom's band played Amityville, New York one time, and
Really?
Ophelia was like, "Oh, I want to go see the Amityville house." We ended up going to the house. We took a bunch of photos. There's orbs. There's all kinds of aura coming off the house and stuff. And we ended up with the puking virus for 3 days after we left the property. One of
Oh,
my
hell
friends, she's
no.
Egyptian,
See?
and she goes to me, "Go fuck with more demons." I said to her, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You see?" She goes, "They messed with you once now because you went there." She goes, "You want to go back?" And I'm looking at her and I'm like, "No." She goes, "Your whole house is throwing up right now." She goes, "Do you really want to go back there?"
Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And
Like
y'all are going to go to a haunted museum?
that's next month. Yeah. It's
Well, take some sage or something with you.
Sage, I think is a good idea. I thought about doing the house with Sage for a while, just because you go through things in life and you got to get rid of the negative energy.
Yes, and my cousin, the co-host, Flea, she's
Yeah,
not here with me right now. She's indisposed at the moment, and I told her about y'all this morning. But she go to twofeathersage.com, and she actually has the crystals, the sage, she does all that.
it's called twofeathersage.com.
Yep, twofeathersage.com.
I'm gonna
Yep.
send it to Ophelia on Facebook. Two feathers.
Yep, she's on Facebook. She has an Etsy, and she also has Vintage 79 on Etsy as well, which is more like the vintage side of the house. But yeah,
Yeah,
she has all of the crystals, the sage, the feathers, the everything. Just whenever you have a chance, just go look at it. But yeah,
I like the
she's
crystal
my
stuff. Like
go-to. She does all my chakra balancing and everything.
that stuff's very hard to keep balanced. But you
Yeah.
need it if you're into manifesting. It is something that you need to keep up with, though. Like I
Yes.
believe a lot in manifesting, especially the 3-6-9 method and everything.
Yes. She's been teaching me a lot about it because I've always been a spiritual individual. I'm not
Yeah.
religious, I'm spiritual. And I do believe in things not being seen but being there. So, and
Oh,
I
I
don't like to
believe in
play
that.
around.
I've lived in houses like that. I
Yeah.
definitely believe in it.
And I don't play around with spirits. I don't. Or bad energies and all that. No, I don't do that.
Like
But that
I'm
teddy
okay
bear
with
is still adorable. I don't care if it's a voodoo doll or not.
the good stuff. Like oh Lou, mommy will be right back. Sorry, our pit bull's crying. Ophelia had to take the puppy outside, so the older one's sitting there crying at the door now.
That's
Well,
fine.
oh Lou, no, I know, no, mom, I know. She's going. She's taking her back. Relax. Right, the older one's very close to Ophelia.
Hmm.
Oh,
Now, do you have any final words? Not final, because I'm sure we will do an interview again,
no, I
probably
don't
about
want
a
to
year from
die.
now.
Ophelia, is there anything you want to say? She's good. All right. No, I'm good, but I appreciate you having me on here. Me and Ophelia, I really appreciate you.
Probably add it on Facebook so you can see the front picture.
She wants to add you on Facebook so she can show you the puppies.
Oh, please do. Definitely send them to me. I want to see the pictures. But this will not be our final discussion because y'all are teaching me something new as well. I will definitely
Oh,
do the research.
there is a lot of different ways to book shows. We had a lot of problems last year. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you because I know there's a lot of bands starting up. We had a lot of issues booking certain places. So we had to start branching outside of the box. We started doing wrestling shows. We started doing motorcycle shows. Like the shows that nobody would take, we started just taking them last year. Like if
That's how
someone didn't
you
want
get
to
your
do
name out
wrestling,
there, though.
like at one point we couldn't get shows, so I was like, fuck it. I seen a carnival ad. I was like, oh, we could play for our town. They're doing a carnival. Turned out it
Yeah.
was a wrestling event. It wasn't a carnival. That was the name of the event, the Carnival of Madness. So I was like, oh, okay. I show up and there's a bunch of wrestlers, and I'm like, where's all the rides? They're like, no, this is wrestling. Then you look at the flyer, and I'm like, right. I don't remember what I did from day to day. But we started branching out because everyone's fighting in the same scene. Everyone's doing concerts. Everyone's trying to get each other's fan bases. But if you go to a
Yeah.
show where you're the headliner and you
Yeah.
control 99.99% of the music, they have to look at you. They have no choice but to see you.
Yeah.
They have no choice but to see your merchandise table out there because let's face it, you're the only music person there. Even the
Yeah.
motorcycle show, we've been playing hotels too, like the Showboat Hotel in New Jersey, one of the biggest hotels. It it was run by the bike show, and the same company runs Daytona Bike Festival in Florida.
Yeah.
And we went out there, we played at the hotel, thousands of bikers. They had no other music there. They had no choice but to see us, see our merchandise.
There you go.
It's
That
performing.
is another thing. Like you can't, even as you grow, um, you can't forget about those type of events.
No, I would still go out to do the bike shows because I love it. I love seeing the different motorcycles. I like seeing the
Yeah.
different people.
That's a
I,
damn good point because a lot of people, as they grow, they forget about the events that nobody else would do.
like I would still do the mental health benefits. I would still do everything I could just, because you always gotta get your name out there. Like
Yeah.
I'm a very power hungry, greedy person. So like I want to get to the level. I don't know if you ever heard of the rapper Jay-Z.
Yeah, that's all I listen to is rap and old school hip hop and
I
R&B.
I want to get to his level. I want people to, I want to be able to have that much money in my bank account. If someone needs money, here's $100,000, whatever. I want that level of success. So that
Well,
way,
the
if anyone
grind that
around me
you're on right
ever needs
now
help,
is the way that you hustle into that moment.
that's what I'm trying to. Like, if anyone ever needs help, to be able to just help them would be a nice,
Stop
some.
saying trying. You're doing.
I know
You
I'm
put you have to keep the positive affirmations. Don't say I'm trying. You're doing it, my guy.
hard. because when you grow up in a negative home, being told by your parents like, "Oh, you can't do this or this won't happen," it kind of
Yeah,
implants in your brain, and it's very hard to break the pattern.
it is, but it takes one day at a time to retrain that thought process. And I don't know if you have watched any of the previous HERShyt Show um, shows yet, because
Yeah,
we did just kind of throw this together as far as the interview, so you may not have had time. But that is pretty much what we do. Not only the advertisement, but to remind people uh, we went through hell growing up,
yeah,
and it's all of it's not where you come from, it's how you're living, right? It's not where
yeah.
you live, it's how you live. It all ties into one. And I would leave you with, make sure that anything that you do, you're paying attention to your pockets, your freedom, and your sanity. And if
I
it fucks
agree.
with any of those, then you might not need to be in that situation.
I appreciate you saying that because, like outside of music, I've been having job issues and it messes with your sanity.
Yeah.
That's where
Just
I'm at right now, messes with my sanity a lot.
Well, I'm here.
I
The
appreciate
HERShyt
you.
Show is here. We don't have to be recording if we do talk, but if y'all ever get into a position where you need to vent, reach out to me, man.
I appreciate you.
And I might have to reach out to y'all sometimes when I need to figure some shit out because don't
I'm here.
there's
Look,
some things that you just put my mind in to learn
I'll
about,
give you, I'll give you my phone number. You can text me anytime you want, call.
That
I'm
is too
always here.
easy.
I'm always here. I always have my dogs with me. I let you see the dogs on the video camera.
You
They
mean
do
my
have
dogs?
your dogs, yes,
Yeah,
whatever.
Ophelia's
You
dogs.
know,
Get it right.
yes. It's weird because from my teenage years on, I didn't have my dog with me, so I didn't really want any pets. Because
Yeah.
it gets hard, you gotta tour and you gotta bring them with you and stuff. People do it. Like there's a guy called Skinny Puppy. He's industrial 90s,
No, he's 80s,
80s.
80s and
Okay.
70s.
He brings his
Yeah.
dog with him. So it is possible to bring your dog with you. It's just not all the time heard about. So I was worried about it messing up his career and everything, but I've been all over the world this year. I've been to PA, Delaware, New York, Connecticut,
Maryland.
Maryland, New Jersey. I've been all over the East Coast this year, so and that's with dogs.
But you could
Yep.
you should be able to, there's a way to do it.
Just gotta find it.
Yeah, gotta find
Like
it. Don't
I
stop
could ask
looking until you find it.
I could tell my aunt today, like, hey, I need someone to watch the dogs. I'll leave the key in the mailbox and she'll come over. But it's you always gotta find it. There's always looking. Like if you look for the positives, you can always find it.
Always
Might not
look
be
for the
right away.
silver lining. You're right about that.
It won't be right away. Like again, if things don't work out at first, there's a reason why. Like
Yep.
we had, I could not get a show over the summer in on August, the beginning of August. I wanted to set up a weekender thing, and I could not get shows booked, and I was pissed. I'm like, why can't no one's reaching out? Then my car broke down for 6 weeks,
Oh my god.
and I realized why I couldn't get the shows. My car was broken down for 6 weeks. I would have had to
Yeah,
have canceled almost every show.
yeah, you
And then
would have.
after the car came back, and all of a sudden we got a couple shows at the end of August.
It's the same way it was with that dog I was supposed to get.
Yeah, like Ophelia was supposed to get a bull, another pit bull,
This was
and
before I found Ava.
and the car broke down. Like the dog, it kept falling through, falling through. Car broke down the same day we were supposed to pick her up, and then out of nowhere, another dude hit her up from where was it?
My previous dog that I just got, she is all the way from Indiana.
Oh wow.
He drove all the way up to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Ophelia drove with my dad up to Buffalo. I was,
It was a 27-hour car ride,
just to get a puppy.
and it was rough.
But
Well, it was worth it.
Yes.
It was worth it. Definitely worth it. But we do have to wrap this thing up, and I could talk to y'all all day long.
before we go,
I'm Ophelia.
and I'm Cain, and you're listening to the HERShyt Show.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I will get with that research, and I will make sure I send it to you so we can get y'all a little bit further on and where you're at.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right.
all the help.
All right. Bye.
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 Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERShyt Show at TheReShytShow.